Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview for the Malice of Light Adventures. And as always, we take no money from publishers, we just want to help you make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So the Malice of Light Adventures is a 1 to 4 player cooperative adventure game. It's based on the Malice of Light books by Brady Sadler, and this is designed by the Sadler brothers of Street Masters and Alter Quest and just lots of games that we've covered over the years. And small disclaimer that I am friendly with the Sadler brothers, and I did do a tiny bit of design work on some narrative for the Aftershock expansion for Street Masters, but that shouldn't impact my honest opinions on this one. And also, this is very much a prototype, still in development. I'll discuss at the end some of my balance suggestions for the game, but I still wanted to show you what it looks like in its current form. So the basic idea of this one is that you're going to play through 3 acts, each one on a different little map like this. You've got a villain who will be jumping around, and this is a modular game, as the Sadler brothers are so good at doing. So the villain that they sent in the prototype is Fendra, and she's going to be bouncing around doing her schemes. We can attack her, but we can't defeat her permanently at this point. And we're going to be trying to, in Act 1, slow down her schemes on these 3 spots, and also pick up as many of these discovery tokens, these question marks, as we can, because those will level us up. Then we'll go to a different map for Act 2, do the same thing, and then we'll go into a final act, the finale, where we try to actually defeat Fendra for good. And again, everything is modular. You can play against different villains. You can play with different minion types. Although in this set, they only sent me goblins and undead, so that's all you're going to see. And each of the acts can be a different map. And additionally, they're going to have story modes that make the game even tougher. I think 1 for each villain, so you could play like Fendra's story, where you're still doing the acts and the maps and everything, but there are extra objectives and extra challenges to make it even tougher. So what I'm going to be playing today is pretty much easy mode, and you might see, well, we'll see how it goes. It depends a bit on some luck elements, but I might just railroad the thing. We'll see how it goes. And to show you how the characters look. So they sent 4 characters in the prototype. I'm playing with Malane, who is a ranged archer orc lady, and Ransel, who is a close combat rogue fighter. And each character has 3 core actions, and they're the same main action type for each of the characters in the game. You've got an attack, you've got an exploration, and you've got a preparation action card. This is quite a bit like Warhammer Quest adventure card game or Heroes of Terranoth, if you have seen that. Although in those games, the actions would exhaust and you'd have to wait a while to use the same one. But in this one, that does not happen. They all start with a single die that you roll for the action, but as you level up with those discovery tokens, you might uncover more dice. Now, each of the actions has the same basic effects, so like an attack is an attack, an exploration action will do the same thing, but each character has an additional effect they resolve before or after the action that is unique to them. In addition, each character has a deck of unique talent cards. You start out with 1 for Malane, it's quick reflexes, and you can earn more as you go, and then each character also has a set of unique relic cards, and those you can also level up into. And these cards in your hand can be used at certain times as reactions or special bonuses, but then they get exhausted and you have to refresh them with actions or other effects. Additionally, each hero has 12 life. You're not defeated for good if you get defeated in Act 1 or Act 2. You just help to boost the villain before you come back, but then in the finale you can be actually defeated. And then you also have a focus track. These are successes you can save for later if you didn't need all of them during a skill test. And then you also have guard, which can be used to block damage. And you've also got some stuff set up for the boss. So you've got Fendra's Act 1 version. She'll switch to a tougher Act 2, and then her finale version later. She's got her scheme cards up here, and these all start on level 1, this 1 at the bottom, but how it works is at the end of each act, Act 1 and Act 2, if you didn't get rid of these scheme cards, to do that you have to clear away all their peril and then get rid of 1 more, and then the card gets removed entirely. But for each of the cards you don't get rid of, you're going to level up her card. So you'll make the finale tougher if you're not managing the threat during the acts. And we've got a special setup card for the Hollowwood Ravine. I picked the simplest map to start out. And how this one works is the scheme tokens, which are usually just in one area, because this is an area-based movement game. But in this map, they count as being in both adjacent areas, and these lines that they intersect count as walls until the scheme is cleared, and then players can move through them freely. But the enemies can always move through and shoot through those areas. So, yep. That's what's special about this one. The other ones get more complicated. Well, let's just jump right in. It's a pretty straightforward game. And I do have to start by drawing an enemy for each of us. So Malice gets an Arcathian Witch. And let's talk through what's on an enemy card. So she has 3 hearts, 3 life. That's how much damage you need to do to defeat her. The upper right arrow symbol shows that she's a ranged fighter, so she has to attack from 1 away. She actually can't attack when she's in your space. The 2 damage value is how much she does when you roll a damage result for her on the dice. You'll see that soon. The 0 shield shows that she does not get any automatic defense against attacks. And then to show the bottom, there's her name. The blue gem next to it shows that she's the Blue Witch. There are 3 colors for each enemy, so there's 3 witches in the deck, 3 goblin archers, that kind of thing. And then that Hex move Inflict is what she'll do when she activates after the hero turn. The enemies that are assigned to them get to activate. Hex is explained, but move just means she'll move to try to be in range. And Inflict 1 means she'll deal 1 damage if she gets in range. And again, kind of like Heroes of Terranoth or Warhammer Quest adventure card game, the enemies are assigned to the player. But what's interesting is that unlike those games, they're also actually on a board, so you don't always get attacked. So when you spawn, you put them on a skull space that has the fewest enemies. So they're going to prefer one of these and is otherwise nearest to the character. So here would be, since they can move through these, 1, 2, 3 away. This would be 1, 2 away. So the witch is going to start right there. And Rancel also gets one. It's an Arcathian commoner. 3 health, 1 guard, so very tanky. Only 1 damage. He's a melee guy. That's what the sword is in the upper right. He'll do a special grasp action if he's in your space, and then move towards you. And if he gets into your space, he'll do 1 damage. And that was the green one, and he's going to be right there. All right, and that is it. So let's have Malice take her action first. So here's what you can do on your turn. You can do them in any order. You can move 1 area. You can perform one of your 3 actions, attack, explore, or prepare, and you have to do one of those. That's the only thing that's not optional. And then you can also do one of 3 ploys. You can move an extra area that's running. You can heal 2 and refresh 1 card. That gets back one of your talent or relic cards. Or you can search. If you're in a question mark space, a space with a discovery token, you can pick it up, which basically lets you level up. Or you can draw a search card, which is mostly good cards, although there are some negative ones hidden in there as well. So first, Malice's going to move into here, I think. And next, she'll do her action. So let's talk about her basic options. She can do an attack. She is a ranged attacker, so that means that she has to be at range 1. She cannot attack in the same space. Rancel's the opposite. He has to be in the same space as his target. Explore does one of 2 things. It lets you, for each success, get rid of one of these peril tokens that is on the scheme that's either in your space or, in this case, adjacent to your space. And again, when you get rid of both tokens, then if you get rid of one more, so we need 3 successes here, you'll get rid of that scheme entirely and make the boss weaker when you get to them in the finale. But alternatively, and actually you can mix and match, you can spend successes to draw cards from the search deck, and you get to only keep one of the cards you drew. But some of them are negative, like traps and stuff, so it's nice to be able to draw more with more successes if you do well. And really importantly, there are 2 keys in the search deck, and 2 of the discovery tokens, this one in this map, have a little lock symbol next to them. That means we need a key to get those, but then we can do it without using up our ploy, our bonus action for the turn, and that will, again, permanently level up every character. All these discovery tokens level up both of us. Super good. And the last action is prepare. You pick yourself or another hero, and each success either lets them get a card back that's been previously exhausted, or gives them a focus or a guard to help them be more successful next time. All right, so here I could try to shoot the witch, although I don't think I would be likely to kill her. I could try to survey the scheme next to me, or I can use Pathfinder to move me or Rancel further along, make it a little bit faster for us to level up. I like a lot of those options. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I am going to use Pathfinder. And you know what? Now that I mentioned that, if I'm using Pathfinder, let's say that I haven't moved yet, because you'll see how the dice rolls work and how the enemies activate and why this is a good idea. So currently, Pathfinder is only rolling 1 blue die. I need to unlock other ones with level ups. I'm going to do the prepare action first, and then whichever hero I targeted can move for free. So I'm targeting Rancel, not myself. And I roll blue dice based on the action card. Again, that's 1. And 1 red die for each enemy in my activation area engaged with me. It doesn't matter that she's far away, that she's not in range. I still roll a red die for her. And just to show this, 2 of the sides are blank. 3 of the sides have claws. Claws are going to make your leftmost enemy that hasn't already gotten a claw, so if you have like multiple enemies and roll multiple claws, they could all activate. They're either going to attack you for this base attack value if they're already in range, so right next to me for her, or they're going to move towards you if they're not in range yet. So that's why I didn't want to move now, because I don't want her to shoot me for 2 damage for no good reason. And there was also a 1/6 chance of rolling this symbol, which triggers this effect on the boss. In her case, it says she strikes us, although she can't because she's not at range 1. Otherwise, she places 1 peril on the scheme nearest her, so it's going to be harder to clear it away. Now, importantly, she does have life in Act 1 and Act 2 based on the number of players, so here it's 1 times the number of players, so 2. If you defeat her, she will come back. She's not defeated for good, but while she's off the board, you will not trigger that negative effect when you roll that die face. As for the hero sides, this is pretty similar to other Sadler Brothers games if you've seen them. So you've got 2 basic success sides. Those will let you do whatever your action is doing. You've got a double success side. You've got a success and a guard side. That'll block damage if people did get a claw activation to hit you. If you don't use it, you can just save it up as guard for later, that little green track. There's also the worst face generally. The only one without any successes is this 1/6 chance of rolling a shield, but at least you still get a guard. And then there is a critical success. So this is slightly different from how you've seen it in maybe other Sadler Brothers games, in that many talents or relics will have one of these little critical effects here, and you can exhaust the card, you can use it to spend the critical effect on that, which means the die is spent, you don't get to do anything else. In this case, it says each hero may deal 2 damage to an enemy in their area, if I use my Quick Reflexes card for that. Well, alternatively, and this is a more normal thing, these are exploding crits, so it counts as 1 success, and you get to roll the die again, which is definitely what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I am again preparing Ransel, and let me get my little rolling bowl, and okay, that was a decent result. We got 1 success and nothing for the enemy. So for each success in a prepare action, again, I can give focus, guard. A focus is just free successes you can spend after you see your die roll in any action. And I could also give him back cards he had exhausted. That clearly doesn't matter yet. So I'll just give him 1 focus, so hopefully his action can be more successful. And then because I use Pathfinder after the action, I get to move the targeted hero 1 space. So he's closer to this freely available token. These other ones are locked out, and we got to go through the gully to get around. But that one doesn't need a key. We can grab it soon and level up, hopefully. All right, then I still get my regular move action, and for my ploy, I think I will also move to, again, get closer to these tokens and things. And nope, I just realized I was dumb. Because after each hero's turn, they flip to show they are done, and then they activate every enemy in their threat area from left to right. For this one, we don't care about that stat, we just care about these, and the first activation is that the witch is going to hex every hero within range 1, which unfortunately includes Ransel, which takes away the 1 focus I just gave him. So, yeah, I still moved him faster, so that was good at least, I guess. But yeah, then she's going to try to move to be in range of Melaine, so enemies are only targeting the people that they are focused on, and then she's going to inflict 1 damage. So yeah, she hexes Ransel, very annoying. Then I can choose where she moves, because remember, they can ignore those tokens, but I guess I'll have her get kind of out of the way. And she does plink me for 1. I'm down to 11 health. Oh, and I guess I should show the other effect of Quick Reflexes. Play this card when an enemy moves into your area, which did not happen. Immediately deal 1 damage to that enemy, and then you may move, which is pretty dang good. All right, now we get to Ransel. So his card is Sneaky. I can play this card at the start of your move step. You may gain 1 guard and deal 1 damage to an enemy in your area. Or alternatively, if he rolls a crit, he can deal 2 damage to an enemy in his area. And then for his bonuses, he has Backstab. It's just a melee attack, and it pierces 1, ignoring 1 armor, which the witch does not have. His Explore says, before this action, you may exhaust an enemy engaged with you. Exhausting means that I wouldn't roll a red die for them, and at the end of my turn, they would not activate. They would just unexhaust. Then I can Explore. And finally, his Prepare is, after this action, you may deal 1 damage to an enemy engaged with the target hero. All right, I think I'm going to go and use Sneaky before I do anything else, because I can play this. Oh, wait, I'm not moving yet, so no, I'm not. But I'm going to have him do Evasion. I was planning to try to get rid of the scheme next to him. Less likely now that he doesn't have the bonus focus. But before the Exploration, I'm going to exhaust the Arcathian Commoner, so he's not going to do anything. And now I roll for the Exploration. This is the one where each success can either let me draw from the search deck or remove a peril, which is what I'm probably going to focus on doing. 3 successes successes, which seems unlikely, would let me get rid of the lashing vines entirely. But hey, like 2 successes would be cool. So let's see how it goes. Oh, that was great. It's a crit. So that's 1. And I'm not going to use the sneaky effect to deal 2 damage to an enemy. I'm going to keep on going. What the? Okay, maybe we'll get 3 successes. What? Dude, this is stupid. Okay, there we go. So I got 3 successes and a guard. Again, the guard could prevent damage being dealt from a claw, but I didn't get any, so I'll just get the guard effect. And then the 3 successes can be spent freely to draw search cards, and then I would keep 1 of the ones I drew to remove peril tokens from the scheme that's next to me, and or to gain focus. So on any action, you can just save some of your successes to do a maybe more important action later. But this one is no question, because that was insane. We're going to spend all 3 to first get rid of 2 peril, and then get rid of lashing vines entirely. So 1 of the 3 schemes is gone. And this is going to be so good. This worked out way better than it should have, because he's actually going to be able to level us up right now. But first, I'm going to play sneaky as I'm about to move. So I'll gain another guard, and I'll deal 1 damage to an enemy in my area. And dealing damage ignores any shields they have, although in this case, the witch doesn't have any. But yeah, she's down to 2 life. And then I'll do my move step. And then remember, one of the ploy options is to pick up a discovery token in your space. These ones are locked. This one is not. So I pick it up, and it's a dice upgrade. So this gets removed, and each of us gets to level up, unlocking a second die for one of our skills. Rancil being able to do more of the exploration seems good for him, so he'll roll 2 dice on that now. And then for Malice, let's maybe have her murder people better. We'll give her a bonus on her attacks. All right, that was all his stuff. That was a fantastic turn. So the Arcathian Commoner would activate, but he's exhausted, so he just unexhausts. And that's the end of both of our turns. So now we finish up with an event step. We draw 1 of the 6 cards from the Hollywood Ravine. Okay, and this says Tangling Roots. So first we resolve the icons from left to right, then we resolve the bottom effect. So it says, first we're getting enemies, so we spawn a new enemy for each of us. Malice gets her own Arcathian Commoner. I know, he's popping in right on her space. Because remember, they want to avoid spaces that already have minions. So they're trying to like have the fewest number of minions on each space. Okay, and then Rancil, jeez, we haven't gotten any goblins yet. That's crazy. Gets the blue Arcathian Commoner. And let's see, this is actually the only spot that has 0 enemies. So now they would go back to doing the nearest spot with at least 1 enemy. And then they also prioritize spots that have schemes or have discovery tokens. So they kind of like try to guard things. But it's a pretty straightforward spawning system. All right, then the second action is this symbol. And how this works is if the villain is already next to the matching scheme, in this case, that scheme is off the board. But if she were here and it was still there, then she would resolve the scheme's effect. So that's basically a 1/3 chance when she's already next to something. Here, each hero would lose a focus or suffer 3 damage. If she's not next to the scheme, then she teleports to be next to it, in this case, on either of these spots. But in this case, that scheme is not on the board anymore, so she does nothing. And then finally, it says place 1 peril on lashing vines. If unable to, each enemy moves 1 area towards the hero they are engaged with. So every enemy moves. Let's see, this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess it's equidistant. We're going to go there to get away from the question marks. Now, them being right there doesn't do anything immediately. Ooh, actually, it does. Let's have as a reaction, Malice use quick reflexes. When it moves into your area, deal 1 damage to that enemy. So that will put a 2nd damage on her witch. And then you may move. That's the part I really cared about. Oh, wait, I can't move there. That would have been awesome. But yeah, she still has to go the long way around. All right, and that is it for 1 full round. When we run out of event cards, the next time we would draw an event card, the act ends. There are also in harder difficulty levels and with those story missions, other ways to end an act early. But here we basically got 6 more rounds, so let's see what we can do. Well, I'm thinking for Malice first, maybe she should shoot some people, right? That's always good. So she'll use her aim shot. I didn't talk about her bonuses, by the way. So aim shot, before she attacks, she either gains +1 focus, or the entire attack gains Pierce 1. Now you might ask, why would you not always pick the focus, since that gives you +1 damage anyway? But if you get a bunch of successes, you can actually spread them among any enemies in range. So let's say both of these people had armor, and I thought I would roll enough successes to hurt both of them, then I might want to have the Pierce 1 to ignore both of their armor. Here, though, if I attack, I'm definitely just going to get the focus option. And then her bonus for Survey, her Explore 1, she gets to reveal the top card of the search deck. She can return it to the top to gain a focus, or shuffle it back into the deck if it's bad to gain a guard. But yeah, she's definitely going to do her aim shots, and she leveled it up. And now because 2 unexhausted enemies are engaged with her, she's going to roll 2 red dice. And we'll see how this goes. Oh, and sorry, she is getting 1 focus before the attack, of course. All right, so we get to resolve all of our stuff first, and then some of that nastiness will happen. Annoying. So she'll apply 1 success to the witch, which finishes her off because she only had 1 life left. The card gets discarded, the token gets removed, and whenever you defeat an enemy, you can optionally draw a search card, although you don't have to because it could be negative, but I will. Hey, a healing potion. Discard this card to heal 3. And these go away at the end of each act, so it's just a free action. I'll use it whenever I can. No big deal. Now, I've still got 1 shield and 1 success left. The success would just plink against the Arcathian Commoner's armor. Now, I could use my focus to do 2 damage and get 1 through, but no, I'll just save the other success as that. Next, the 1 claw can only apply to the Arcathian Commoner because he's the only one left alive. If he was in my space, he would attack me for 1. Instead, he moves to be in my space. Then I have to apply this. If Fendra could attack me, she would, but she can't. So she's instead going to add another peril to the closest scheme, annoyingly. That puts the Abyssal Rift at 3. And then finally, if I have any shields left that I didn't have to use for attacks, they go into my guard. Okay. All right, now I still have a move and deploy. Well, I certainly don't want to be in this guy's space. And I can't pick that up because I don't have a key. Do I want to move again to be able to shoot the boss and get this stuff? Or do I want to heal 2 and get my quick reflexes back? Oh yeah, that's way smarter because then I can use it in a second. So yes, I'll do the rest option to heal 2 and refresh 1 card. Because, hey, look what happens. I activate my enemies. My Arcathian Commoner would try to steal focus from me or do damage to me if I was in his space. I'm not. Then he moves and he tries to attack me. But when he moves into my space, I use quick reflexes, deal 1 damage to him, and move away. So I got my free move anyway, but with a free damage as well. And again, that ignores his armor. So ha ha ha. So yes, show that he comes here, and I go, nope. And I'll be ready to level us up some more in a second. All right, next up is Ransel's turn, and I think he's going to keep on taking care of the schemes. Now, both his enemies are here, so let's have him try to get rid of the green one that only has 2 tokens left on it. So I'll have him move first. Then I'm going to have him do evasion again. So he gets to exhaust. I'll exhaust the green guy who's very close to me. The blue guy's farther away. Which means I'm only rolling 1 red die for the other Arcathian Commoner. God, Ransel, why are you so good at rolling? That's 4 dice. 4 successes. Jeez. All right, so 3 will take care of that scheme. So we're down to 1. And let's see. For the 4th, he could save up a focus. But let's dig for the keys that will let us level up more. Discard this card during a prepare action to roll 1 additional hero die. So he can get some cards back or boost up himself from a lane. Nice. Now again, if I had spent more successes to dig deeper into the search deck, I would have kept 1 of the cards I had drawn, but here I just got 1. Now I did roll a red, and blue is the only guy who's active to use it, so he can, 1, 2, 3 is going to be fastest, so he'll move 1 towards me. Which does mean that if I use my ploy to move in here and then pick that up next turn, he'll get to hit me. Whatever, I've got guard. So I'll come in, and now I activate him. So he tries to grasp, but I'm not in his space. Then he moves, and he does 1 damage, which I will block with 1 guard. Oh, and green wakes back up. All right, now we do... Oh, no new enemies. I have to save 1 again. Place 1 peril on lashing vines. Nope. If unable to, each enemy moves 1. Oh, same thing again. Okay. All right, so that means... Oh, red catches up to her again, and green goes over there. But yeah, no new enemies, so that's very nice. All right, so what do I want to do now? We can definitely level up a bunch, which is going to help us out a ton. Well, Malaine could try to kill that friend next to her, right? So I'll have her go first. She'll move here first, then use her ploy to get the discovery, which is a relic. Let's look at those. We each get to draw the top relic card of our deck. In our case, it is the Howlcaster. Play this card during your turn. Each hero within range 2 may either refresh 1 card or exhaust an enemy in their area. Cool. And again, that gets exhausted if I use it. Then I got to use a repair action or something else to get it back. Ransel, on the other hand, gets Guild Mark. Play this card after a hero draws a search card. They may gain 1 focus, draw another card, choose 1 to keep, and shuffle the other back into the search deck. That's pretty great when we get a trap or something. All right, so that was her move and her ploy. Now she'll do another aimed shot, and she will once again get a focus. She's only got 1 enemy this time, and that was a roll. I could just use all 3 of my focus to kill the guy anyway. Yeah, let's do that. 1 damage to cancel his armor and 2 more to finish him off. Then I'm getting 2 guard, and I can draw a search since I killed him. Guild Mistbomb. Discard this card to exhaust each enemy in your area, whether they're engaged with you or somebody else. Well, there aren't very many enemies at the moment, so I don't know if that'll be helpful, but maybe later. All right, so that's it for her, and no enemies to activate. All right, as for Ransel, well, let's go ahead and pick this up for his ploy first. Oh, it is talent. So the 2-card symbol means we each get to draw 2 and keep 1. Let's look at Mullane's choices. Quick shot, play this card when an enemy within range 2 is assigned a claw result. Before resolving that reaction, deal 2 damage to that enemy. Nice. Oh, if it defeats them, you gain a free focus and guard. Or Keen Eye, play this card after revealing the search card before your survey action, the one where you get to put it back on top or shuffle it in. You may choose to draw the revealed card to gain a focus and a guard. After this action, you can spend 1 focus to discard 1 Paraformer Scheme. That's very good, too. Well, I think for now I'm going to have her be the damage focus one and give her Quick Shot. And the other card gets shuffled back in to potentially be drawn later. All right, as for Ransel's options, you got Slippery. Play this card after exhausting an enemy to gain 2. That would be like from its evasion action. Then you may spend 1 to deal 2 damage to that enemy. Holy crud. Or Cunning Instincts, play this card before... there's also evasion. There's like 2 for each of the actions and then other things. Play this card before your evasion action to exhaust an additional enemy in your area. Then each hero engaged with an exhausted enemy gains 1 focus. After this action, you may spend 1 guard to refresh 1 card. Ah, that's good. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for Slippery. I think I can use that more consistently really quickly. Because I could run back here and try to dig through the search deck for the key cards with another exploration, since I'm better at that, and that'll let me exhaust people and maybe use Slippery and all that. Though I will be really close to the enemies, so that part's a little worrying. But whatever. He's been rolling really well. Let's just try it out. So he'll move over there. Then he will do another evasion, and he'll exhaust the one that's already engaged with him. And he'll play this to gain 2 focus and spend 1 of it to do 2 damage to that guy. So he's only got 1 left. And now he'll actually do the exploration action. Hey, that's much worse than his usual rolling. All right, so he's got 1 success and no schemes to deal with. So he's just going to draw Zoation Vial. Discard this card during an attack action to roll 1 additional hero die during the action. Well, that would help him backstab one of these guys. I could spend the focus, but nah, I'll just keep it like it is. So then I won't spend my focus. I had 2 guard. And the blue guy who's not exhausted, ooh, yeah, this is actually a little worrying, isn't it? Because this guy does not exhaust, but he's going to grasp me, so I got to spend 1 focus or suffer 2 damage. Well, suffer 2 damage also can mean just spend 2 shields, so that's fine, because I want to keep my focus if possible. Oh, but then he also inflicts 1, so all right, I'm out of guard. And we got another event. Oh man, more enemies. So yeah, I mean, Mullane's doing great, but she needs to come help Ransel. So Mullane, where are the goblins? How did I shuffle this? Mullane gets the Greed Arcathian Witch, and there we go. Ransel gets an Ash Hand Fighter. 3 life, 2 attack, melee, and they hit you for 1, then they move, and then they hit you for 1 again. And let's see, for Mullane, spawns there, and then for Ransel, it spawns there, pretty far away, that's nice. Okay, then she wants to go to green, but that, again, can't be done. So we place 1, if unable to, each hero loses a focus. Well, it's just Ransel, but still, that's annoying. All right, I was going to have Ransel go first and stab those guys, but let's have Mullane come over and grab this, since it will boost him. Oh, wait, that's a wall, so it's going to take the long way around. Never mind. Maybe she will not do that. But she can move here and attack, because she can actually shoot the leader and or the witch. Who do I want to start with? I guess the witch is going to actually hurt me, so we'll go with her. All right, so, we got 1 focus from the aimed shot, and oh my gosh. All right, maybe we can kill both. I don't have my skill that would let me get those back, so that's 5 successes. Well, you know what 5 successes means? 3 and she's dead. Draw a search card. Ooh, it's a map. Discard this to move or take 1 item from the search discard pile. That's great if we get one of the keys. And then 2 more to defeat her. Now, she will spawn back out whenever an event card draws or shows one of the schemes still on the board. But for now, that's nothing. So she's gone. Now, you only draw search cards for minions, and you only draw 1 search card per attack, no matter how many minions you defeat. So here I just get the 1 map. All right, and then she also had another green. I need to get her somewhere. Well, that was her move. Now she'll use her ploy to move over there so that she can try to get that soon. All right, meanwhile, Ransel. Let's try to stab some guys, dude. So he's going to do his backstab, which gives him Pierce 1, which will nicely ignore all of the armor on those guys. He's going to use his Zoation Vial to get +1 die, since he's usually only rolling 1. But he has to roll 3 red dice for the 3 people engaged with him. Isn't that fun? Okay, well, actually, this works out very well. So he's doing 3 damage. So he'll apply 1 to this guy. Again, he's ignoring their armor, so he's gone. Now, should he apply the other 2 to that guy? Actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to save them for when he tries to explore the other scheme and get rid of it. Okay, now we've got 2 claws, which apply to the guy in his space, dealing 1 damage to him, and the ash hand will move towards him. So bloop and 1. Again, it's 1 because the claw effects just deal that amount of damage. It does not activate any of those effects. But this happily is ignored because Malice knocked the villain off the board. And Rancel gets to draw a search card. Oh, nope. Where is it? Guild mark. Play this card after a hero draws a search card. May gain 1 focus, draw another card, choose 1 to keep, and shuffle the other back into the search deck. And, oh, it's a key. Yes, I will choose to keep the key. Oh, and this is kind of insanely lucky here because he still has his move and his ploy, but this doesn't even cost a ploy. You just discard the key, and you get the thing. It's another dice level up. All right, let's see. I kind of want to max out his evasion so he can get rid of that last scheme really easily. And that'll also let him dig into the search deck. Well, I guess we don't need the other key anymore because Maline's already got a map. Maybe I should get exploit instead because that will let us use some preparation to get our cards back because you don't recover everything automatically after each act. So yeah, okay, we'll spread it out a bit. And then for Malice, it's kind of the same question. I think for her, I am going to go hyper-focus so we can murder everybody. She just needs to get over to Rancel's enemies. Okay, and he still has his move and his ploy, so let's get over here to be able to get rid of that in a second. And then these guys, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, move towards him. Ooh, the goblin is ready to be shot with arrows. All right, and we get Shadow's Reach. Still no enemies. Place 1 peril on Shadow's Thicket if unable to. Oh, we actually each have focus, so that sucked. Rancel goes down to 2, and Malice goes down to 0. But no new enemies. In the current version of the game, each event deck has half enemies and half not. All right, let's have Malice go first. She can kill his goblin and then get that to level him up. So we'll do the aimed shot first, which is going to be just... Oh, no, she has nobody engaged with her. So it's just 3 blue, and she gets a free... focus first. This guy has, 3 life, no armor. So we just need 3 successes. That'll do it with the focus. So he's dead, and she gets up to 5 guard, the max. And she gets to draw a search. Nothing. You may draw 1 search card if you do the villain schemes. I'm actually not sure how that works when she's off the board. Because usually she would activate the scheme that she's on. It might just do nothing. I think that's right. So I think I can just draw another search card for free. Which is the other key. Are you freaking kidding me? Why? So should Malice run down? Oh, I mean, she still should, right? So she'll still run down there and open this up for her ploy. It's another die. I think she'll get Pathfinder, and he can max out his evasion he's about to use. All right, and she has no enemies to activate, so he is going to explore or evade. So his 1 enemy gets exhausted, which means he's just rolling 3 dice. He's got 3 successes. He needs 4 to get rid of the thing, and he's got 2 focus. So sure, he'll spend 1 focus to get rid of it, which now means Malice can get back to it a little bit more easily. It also means that the villain cannot come back for the rest of the act because there is nowhere for her to scheme to. And let's see, I guess he'll run over for this one with a move and a ploy because she's got the key in the map to get that one. And his enemy just unexhausts. And where's the last enemy? So blue doesn't do anything. Each hero may exert 1 to draw a search card if at least 1 hero does this villain schemes. No, I mean, we're pretty good on searches at this point. All right, Malice can go first, and I think she's going to actually use her prepare action on Rancel to get him closer to that, and also to get him some stuff back, because at least in the easier rules, you get to keep all of the focus and guard you've built up, and he also wants to get back these cool cards that he's used. So that's 2 dice. She's got no reds engaged with her because she got 2 successes and a shield. The shield, oh, she already has max shields, what the heck, but yeah, the shield would go to her. But the 2 successes, let's get Slippery and Sneaky back. Guild mark doesn't seem as important. She could have, again, also given him focus and stuff. And she also lets him move 1, and then she can move 1, and then she can also use her ploy to do that, and then she can throw away her key to do that. And it's a freaking die, of course it is. Oh, I should have done all that first, then I could have rolled an extra die. But actually, let's spread it out a bit. But Rancel, he doesn't need to spread anything out. Let's just get craziness going on. These are random, by the way, so you could get more talents, you could get more dice. This is kind of how things are going for us this time. Okay, well, speaking of Rancel, he's going to move 1. He's going to get the last one of these. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, this is insane. I've never gotten this mix. Because I think it was enough to fully level up. So about 6 tokens out of 14. And we've gotten 5 in our first 7, because there's 7 more in Act 2. And that's just how things go sometimes, I guess. All right, and the Rancel is obviously going to prepare... I guess, Melanie. I mean, she's only used one card, and she has way more guard than he does. So actually, he'll do it to himself, because then he could deal 1 free damage to the guy, because he's engaged with him. So we only get 1 red die, and all right. So 3 successes, the guy will move towards him, and he gets a guard. So the 3 successes can be 1, 2, 3, I think makes the most sense. 1 guard. And again, this guy moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all the same. So we'll have him move towards Melody, and he takes 1 free damage. And then for his actual activation, he moves 1 more. All right, and we flip our final event, which is finally more enemies. We could exert to draw search cards. No thanks. All right, Malayan gets, another archer. So this one can attack 1, then move, and then attack 1 again. It's got 1 armor, but only 2 life. And Ransel gets another goblin fighter. All right, so Malayan, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Her archer goes there, and Ransel's fighter, of course, goes there. Now, the enemies go away at the end, so we don't really care. So honestly, I just want to avoid them and try to prepare more. So we'll have Malayan go first. She will find herself. And, oh my gosh. That's 4. 5. Okay, so she already has max guard. 5 successes, and the guy moves towards her because he's not in range yet. So 5 successes can get back her quick reflexes and give her 4 focus. And then, what the hey, she can just move. And she's already at full health. I don't even know what to do here. And she can just move 1 farther away. Oh, actually, I know. Here, she can move here, and then she can use her guild miss bomb that she's about to lose anyway when they move to the next act to exhaust each enemy in her area. 1 fewer dude to make Ransel roll red dice. Now, her archer, when they activate, does move 1 and then prick her for 1 damage, which she'll spend 1 of her 5 guard on. And then Ransel is clearly going to exploit on himself, because why not? And yeah, he's only rolling 1 red die. Okay, so 2 block, 3 successes. I guess 1, 2, 3. Then the goblin can move in, but doesn't attack yet. But then if Ransel moves away and ploys away, he won't get him, and he's exhausted. And that'll be the end of Act 1. So yeah, the preview's going a little bit long. I was going to show you at least Act 2, but I think I'll stop here because already you can see, I think, all the things I want to say that's awesome about the game and the things that I hope they work on a bit more. But just to show you, the second encounter that they sent, the Ruins of Arcath, is, I think, quite a bit more interesting. So sorry, I showed you the kind of more dull one. All the spaces with discovery tokens start with roots, which are just represented as peril tokens on the board. And heroes can spend focus to get rid of roots in their area. But if they don't, a lot of the events will have the roots deal damage to them or do other nasty things. So that's fun, gives you a little bit more to think about. You can see the map is super different, like you have to go into these rooms, which can make finding the stuff a little bit slower. But same as Act 1, you've still got 5 regular discovery tokens and 2 that are treasure chests. Now, additionally, you move up to Act 2 versions of the enemies, and you can see they have way higher health. Wow, yeah, the Ashen guys go from 3 and 0 to 5 and 1. And you also use Act 2 enemies in the finale. But yeah, so the enemies level up with you. And then also each of the schemes starts with 1 peril per player per act. So here they would each start with 4 with 2 characters, so definitely harder to clear away. Now, are they hard enough to clear away with Ransel having 3 dice and 5 focus saved up? Maybe not, but he might spend some of that on roots and stuff. Well, like I said, I was playing on basically the easiest difficulty setting. One of the things that they've talked about for balancing in a harder mode is that you would not be able to bring focus and guard into the next act with you. So you could just boost up infinitely like I did there because I had extra time. And then finally, just to show you what the finale looks like, this is Fendra's lair. She only has 1 figure on the board, but each player gets a sort of clone card of Fendra to deal with. Some have melee, some have range, they have different special abilities. And you can kill some of them, but you can't finish off the last one until you also get rid of all the peril from her schemes, which, don't forget, could have leveled up, although in this case, clearly I destroyed them. They didn't have a chance to. But her events are really cool, so yeah, that's how the game would have gone. I would have had to get rid of all the peril for her. She also has like special effects going on with the board. But I think you saw enough for me to talk about what I like about the system and what I hope they work on more. So things I like. I think this might be one of the coolest iterations of what the heroes can do on their turn, because I've played Altar Quest, I've played Heroes of Terranoth, Warhammer Quest adventure card games, Street Masters, Brook City, like all of them. What was it, Hour of Need? And they've been playing around with somewhat similar things here. But I think the actions combined with the special thing for each character are really fun. I like how they level up and you get stronger and stronger effects with the actions. But even more exciting are these talent cards and these relics. You didn't see very many, but they can do like crazy things. And again, you can get them back pretty consistently. So like Emberance here. Play this card after your backstab action to deal 1 damage to each enemy in your area. Play this card after you move. Each hero in your area may heal 2 and gain 1 guard. Play this card after performing a ploy. You may move. Like, there's really crazy powers and abilities that give you a lot of fun tactical play. And they're always available until you exhaust them once you level up into them. So I think this is maybe the best version I've seen. Well, okay, I will say something like Street Masters does have more combo possibility with how the tactics work, but that also gets overpowered very quickly, where some characters just do the exact same thing every turn because they do so much damage. I think this one is a bit more constrained and controlled, since you can't just keep on using these things every single turn. So the tactical choices are going to be interesting consistently, and like choosing the correct time to use the best thing is going to work out. I really like the new iteration on the Warhammer Quest, Heroes of Terranothish kind of thing, where you're rolling a negative die for the enemies, but it's got that tactical element. Because if you know that the enemy that could attack you is not in range to do so, and they're just going to move from a claw, then there's only a 1/6 chance of something truly terrible like happening to you. And if you've moved the villain off the board, that's not even going to happen. So there's a lot of control in the dice. As for the dice themselves, it's still got that Sadler Brothers, almost every result is a good result in some way or another. Like, yes, you've got the 1 negative block, but even that gives you guard. But then everything else is great. Of course, the exploding crit is awesome. Now, you did see in this thing, and this is true of a lot of Sadler Brothers games, if you roll awesome, things might be really easy. Like when Ransel rolled a ton of crits or rolled, a bunch of doubles. But that's inherently fun, so it doesn't bother me that much. It can mess with the balance a little bit, but it can also be a cool time. I also like the flexibility to build up guard, to build up focus. Now, the focus this is the most forgiving the system has ever been in any of their games, at least that I can think of, where like literally you can just take any success you don't feel like using, like you didn't need that extra damage, and you can just make it a free success for later. That might be, I'm still unsure, that might be a little bit too flexible, because then like you might just be able to, well, first of all, you might just keep on using your 3 dice action when you unlock it over and over again to build up focus, and then you can make any action amazing. But I don't know, it's still fun, and it certainly makes rolls not feel punishing, which can be a pretty frustrating part of games. So I'm mixed on the focus mechanic, and like I could imagine a limitation on like how many focus you save on a given roll or something. That would probably help with my feelings on it, but still, it's generally a good system. As for the core gameplay loop, I love the modularity. It's awesome that you can have whichever Act 1 board you want, whichever Act 2 board you want. And at least for the stuff they sent me, either encounter can be used for either act. So there's a ton of flexibility in that. And you can see with the vines in the second encounter, they do seem like there's going to be some pretty interesting stuff there. Is it Street Masters level of uniqueness? No. But also, I don't need to keep track of 15 effects and special rules. Like, you just kind of go in with a single card and you're good to go. I do kind of wish the schemes would fire off more often, because the only time currently they're going to fire off is if the villain is on the board and they draw a card that matches the scheme they're already next to. So that is 1/3 of the time or less, because again, they could be off the board. So you have like these cool effects that are almost never going to happen. And at least for some of the events, especially on the board I play, they do get a bit more interesting for the finale and the other one. But like the event cards aren't that exciting, although I guess they're also spawning enemies, so like a lot of stuff is happening. But I wouldn't mind the events and the schemes happening a bit more often, because yes, I don't want to deal with Street Masters or Sentinels of the Multiverse level of just tons of effects and annoyingness. But right now it feels like maybe it goes too far in the other direction, and it's maybe too streamlined and simplistic. The enemies are cool. I think them messing with you and you trying to fight them, or sometimes just avoid them, works out great. Now, one thing I'm not sure about with the enemies, another thing that's a little bit maybe too swingy, is the event cards. So as I noted, right now in Act 1 and Act 2, all of the event cards have a 50-50 chance of spawning more enemies. And if I've had games that went this way, if every event, or at least like the first one or two, don't have enemies spawning, you just have free reign to run and grab those level ups much more easily. You don't have to like waste time attacking and such. And then you'll have an easier time dealing with the enemies when they come out. Whereas if it's like this and each of the first three events spawn enemies, things are going to be very hairy very quickly. You could take a ton of damage. And right now, the events are identical, whether they have a skull on them or not, which seems a little weird to me. It seems like, at least for balance, if it doesn't have a skull, this should be like way worse to balance it out. So I don't know. It's just another swingy element in the game. It's okay. Still works pretty smoothly, but maybe not ideal for me. Speaking of swinginess, this is a huge one. The keys. There are 2 keys in this big search deck. Okay, and I've had games where the keys were on the bottom half, and you saw like you can get 1 card from killing enemies, some special powers let you draw 1 card, and then you can spend your explore actions to draw them. But I find usually I'm using all my explore successes to get rid of the schemes, so I don't have that much time to dig into the search deck. So if the keys happen to be in the top half of the search deck, you're going to usually get them, and you only need really 1 of them usually, because if you get a map, you can get them back from the discard pile, recur them, and unlock the other key thing. So I do find this is another swingy element where sometimes you get 2 extra level ups. 2 makes it 7 instead of 5 per map, which is pretty huge because you saw how powerful each of those level ups can be, especially when you're getting the dice upgrades. So I don't know. Honestly, my preference would probably be to cut the key mechanic entirely and just have like 5 level ups in Act 1 and 5 level ups in Act 2, because I think that would be a much more controlled cone of possibilities. To explain what I mean, right now, depending on how things go, you could get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 level ups. And that's going to have a huge impact on Act 2 and the finale, right? If you're under-leveled or over-leveled. And I think the rounds are long enough that you can pretty consistently, at least in my plays I have in Act 1 and Act 2, get all 5 of the ones that don't have keys, but that luck of the draw for the search deck is going to majorly determine whether you get those last 2, which, again, I think increases the cone of possibilities maybe too much and gives you the potential, like in the game I just played, to have too many level ups in Act 1. So I kind of feel like if they just didn't have the key mechanic at all and you can only get 5, then it would be a much more consistent sort of level up thing. I also think with that, they could cut a whole dang round from the act. Y'all saw at the end of Act 1, this has happened to me in Act 2 as well, that we were just futzing around when we got to round 7, because we'd already killed everybody, or at least everybody we cared about, because all the enemies were going to go away. We'd already gotten rid of all the schemes. We had already gotten every single discovery token. So if they got rid of the keys or like took away some time, I think they could easily get rid of a round or 2, shrink Act 1 and Act 2, because right now Act 1 is a little bit longer than I would want. Act 2 as well. Playing through an entire set of 3 is going to be like a 2.5 hour affair, which is maybe longer than I think is best for this kind of game. And you don't want those boring rounds like I had at the end. So I feel like shortening the rounds and giving you less stuff to do maybe without the keys would, in my opinion, be a good upgrade for this. But let's end on a positive. In addition to the talent cards and the relic cards and the powers, I love the core action system and how straightforward it is. You can move 1, you can move again, or do all these other things like get your cool cards back and heal yourself, or search for things and get the discovery tokens, performing your action in there, having the 3 simple action options, and then just activating all of your enemies. It is a smooth system. Your turns are fun. You get lots of tactical nuance and choices and cool strategic goodness in there. I just have a great time with everything I'm doing on my turn. So yeah, really the only things I want them to work on and maybe tighten up a bit, and that might just come in the higher difficulty levels, because again, I'm playing on baby's first Malice of Light Adventure mode. I just want them to tighten up how much you level up, how long the acts take, if the acts stay exciting the entire time, all of that. If they could do that, I think this game could be a grand slam. Could be my favorite Sadler Brothers design ever. As it is, it's more in like Alter Quest territory, where I love some parts of it quite a bit, but the balance of the experience is a little bit off. Because if you go back and watch my old Alter Quest videos, I loved what you were doing on your turn there just as well. But it also like was too easy, and when the boss would spawn and all this stuff. So, they've learned those lessons. I think this is already in a better direction than Alter Quest, but it's not 100% there yet, and I would love for it to get there. So that is Malice of Light Adventures. Again, sorry I only got through one act, but you can sort of extrapolate. And I think if you go watch the Co-op Guild, they had like a 2+ hour playthrough, and I think they got through at least 2 acts, maybe the entire thing. But yeah, like a lot of stuff about this one. Hopefully they tighten it up and it becomes amazing, but we'll see how it goes. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, Miles, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.